In the world of professional wrestling, the WWE has seen its fair share of iconic superstars and memorable moments, but with the company being so big and never stopping, that's led to some people to fall through the cracks. And one name that often comes up in discussions about missed opportunities and unfilled potential is Ken Anderson, also known as Mr. Kennedy. Mr. Kennedy's WWE career was marked by tremendous promise, but it ultimately became one of the most significant what-if stories in the history of the promotion. Ken Anderson, under the ring name Mr. Kennedy, made his WWE debut in 2005, and right from the start it was clear that he possessed unique charisma and mic skills that set him apart from many of his peers. And at a time where WWE was in need and in search of prime stars like The Rock and Stone Cold, they started developing their own stars, and while some were just projects that fizzled out and disappeared after months, Mr. Kennedy wouldn't be the same case. Almost everything about Kennedy stood out, from his ring entrance where he introduced himself with his catchphrase with the mic coming down, his bleach blonde hair, and his charisma combined with in-ring abilities quickly made him a fan favorite. Kennedy would establish himself fairly quickly as a go-to guy and someone who could be trusted in a main event program, which would then lead to Mr. Kennedy getting a feud with The Undertaker. In 2006, SmackDown's roster and WWE's roster as a whole was kinda lacking. With no real stars besides Batista and The Undertaker, the card was mostly mid-carders in the Cruiserweight division, which was wacky but entertaining at the same time. And this lack of real stars allowed Kennedy to stand out and shoot his way up the card, which gave Taker and Kennedy 2 matches on pay-per-view and feuded with each other on TV for quite some time in 2006. And as you can see, there's no way WWE didn't think highly of Kennedy for him to be in such a prominent storyline with The Undertaker. Again, this would all lead to Kennedy being put in the 2007 Money in the Bank ladder match at WrestleMania 23, in an incredibly entertaining and stacked matchup including the Hardys, Randy Orton, Edge, Booker T, Finlay, and CM Punk. Mr. Kennedy would shockingly win the briefcase on WWE's biggest stage of the year, which gave him the opportunity to cash in on any champion at any time. But that's not what happened, not even in the slightest. Mr. Kennedy would unfortunately get injured, and being the Money in the Bank holder, that meant he had to drop it and drop it quickly. He would shockingly a month later lose to Edge in 7 seconds on an episode of Raw. Then on the next episode of SmackDown, Edge would beat Taker for the World Heavyweight title. And just like that, Kennedy was out of the picture. But believe it or not, that's not the only time Mr. Kennedy has had horrible luck. Back in 2007, as I'm aware you guys know, Mr. McMahon was blown up in a limo, which resulted in an FBI investigation. But as we also know, real life tragic events occurred, which prevented this storyline from unraveling. The storyline would have saw Mr. Kennedy return from hiatus, be named the culprit, and was supposed to be revealed as Mr. McMahon's illegitimate son. But as we all know, it played out completely different. Despite the what-if nature of Mr. Kennedy's WWE career, he still did some great things outside the company. After his departure from the WWE, he continued his wrestling career in other promotions including TNA, where he achieved success under his real name, Ken Anderson, where he also had an amazing feuds with the likes of Kurt Angle and had an amazing cage match as well. He would also win TNA's world title 2 times, so at least he could say he was world champion. Mr. Kennedy's WWE career is a compelling case study in missed opportunities and unfulfilled potential. His charisma, mic skills, and unique character set him apart as a superstar with the potential to become a top-tier main event talent. However, a series of injuries, unfortunate timing, and just bad luck in general prevented him from realizing his potential.